The twins have new hairstyles. Jessica wears her hair in curls while Elizabeth pulls her hair back in barrettes. Neither hairstyle is shown on the cover of the book.
Argo Font Book Review. Argo Font Book Review.
Everyone in town thinks the Mercandy mansion is haunted. It has candy in the name. Obviously, it's a good place. The house looks creepy. The old lady that lives there looks like a witch. A black-haired girl has just moved into Mercandy Mansion. Jessica and Elizabeth can't help but spy on her. Is she a witch too? At school, the new girl is introduced as Nora Mercandy, who just moved from the other side of the country. Elizabeth volunteers to help show Nora around. The unicorns give Elizabeth a hard time about helping a witch. They say and do mean things to Nora all day long. Nora tells Elizabeth her mom just died. I wonder if things would be any different if the kids knew Nora is an orphan. Maybe they'd be nicer to her? In gym class, they play tennis. Lila wants to show off, so she challenges Nora. She forces Nora to make a bet. Little does she know, Nora is a tennis champion. Nora easily wins Lila's valuable cloisonne pen. Lila is furious and screams she'll get revenge. Nobody remembers this very public meltdown the next day, when Lila accuses Nora of stealing the pen. The vice principal forces Nora to get the pen back. Lila's overjoyed that her lies got Nora in trouble. That's what you get for making me look bad, witch! In class, the students make a list of reasons why Nora is a witch. She has no reflection. She has coffins in the attic. She's creepy and she killed my elderly cat. Elizabeth tries to defend Nora, but nobody listens to her. There is a test in math class. When no one's looking, Lila switches her test with Nora's. Nora fails the test. She starts crying in class when she realizes what happened. She doesn't tell the teacher because she figures no one will believe her, just like last time. Poor Nora. The sad part is that Nora's crying just makes Lila happier. She decides to get more revenge on Nora, and I'm worried there's no way to stop the vicious cycle of Lila doing terrible things. Nora complains she doesn't know why everybody hates her. Elizabeth is too nice to say outright that people think Nora's grandmother is a witch. She settles for saying Nora's grandmother has a reputation for being strange. Nora decides to disprove the rumors by introducing everybody to Grandma. She has a small party in her backyard. Elizabeth asks Jessica to bring the unicorns. Jessica refuses. Elizabeth has to bribe Jessica 4 times before she agrees. Side note, we learn Lila's parents are divorced. She lives with her dad, who's never at home. That is sad, but it doesn't excuse the fact that Lila is bullying an orphan for being good at tennis. Nora's party is ruined when a man in a suit exits the house. He walks stiffly and struggles to say Nora's name. The kids scream that he's a zombie, and they all run away. The truth is that he's not a zombie. He is Nora's grandfather, who was partially paralyzed after a stroke. Nora could easily clear up the misunderstanding now, but she doesn't. She lets everybody think there are monsters living in her house for the next 30 pages. The unicorns decide to get revenge on Nora by making her into their slave. They threaten to frame Nora for stealing Lila's wallet if she doesn't do everything they say. They force her to get them food and do their errands. Jessica, Lila, and Ellen copy Nora's homework. Elizabeth is aghast when she hears this. She says if their parents found out, they would ground Jessica for a month. So why doesn't Elizabeth tell her parents? Why does she let Jessica get away with plagiarism? Someone should tell an adult what's going on. But Elizabeth figures the best course of action is nothing. Nora should continue to be the unicorn slave. They'll eventually get bored and move on to something else. That's terrible advice, Elizabeth. The next day, the unicorns pretend to be nice to Nora. They invite her to Lila's Halloween party. It's a trick. While Nora's at the party, Bruce Patman and some boys will attack Nora's house with eggs, spray paint, and toilet paper. Nora figures out the trick and runs home. Everybody follows her inside, where they learn Zombie Man is actually Nora's grandfather. He is a famous magician named Marvelous Marvin. Everyone's excited to meet him, even though they were probably still in diapers when he retired. Nora impresses the crowd by doing a magic trick. The unicorns realize they can't make fun of Nora anymore for being a witch. I guess the moral of the story is that if you want people to stop bullying you, you need to have a famous relative. That will shut them up. The end. Post-book follow-up. I don't like this book. It's the unicorns bullying a girl non-stop. We had a similar story in the first book, but it was better there, because that book had other storylines. This one does not. It is all bullying all the time. The ending felt like a cop-out. Nora escapes the bullies because she happens to live with a celebrity. Why didn't Nora mention that at the start of the book? The book redeems Jessica by distancing her from the unicorns. She is absent for most of the bullying episodes, and Lila has to force her to be an active participant. In the end, Jessica makes the right decision by siding with Elizabeth over her fake friends. It would have been nice if Jessica learned her lesson for real and quit the Unicorn Club. Many people complained, there's no resolution, the bullies don't get in trouble. If anything, they are rewarded for the way they treated Nora. They don't learn their lesson, and they move on to bullying other people in the next book. It's pretty bad. Amy and Elizabeth are distracted with newspaper work for 2 days, just as the slave stuff starts. That felt like a cheap excuse to get rid of them, because otherwise they would have interfered with the story. There's a similar moment towards the start where Elizabeth misses school the day of the tennis episode. Overall, I think how much you'll like this book depends on your tolerance for bully stories. It might have been better if it leaned into the scary Halloween side of things, if Nora had been mysterious and misunderstood, like the cover and title indicate. Instead, Nora is the poor victim of the mean girls who excessively torment her for little reason and suffer no consequences. I give Sweet Valley Twins number 3, The Haunted House, a 3 out of 10.